Welcome back, students. Very good morning to all. This is your English text class. Today we will be continuing with our English textbook. So get ready with your English textbook. Open page number 49. Today we will be revising the story Robinson Crusoe. You already know the story. We already completed. Today we will be revising with the story. You know, it is written by Daniel Defoe. Robinson Crusoe. Who was Robinson Crusoe? Robinson Crusoe was an impulsive wanderer. Do you know who are the wanderers? Wanderers who likes to explore, who likes to visit, who likes to go to explore different places. Okay. So once Robinson Crusoe's ship had been destroyed by the sea. He had been alone for many years and longed for company. Why he was longed for company? Because we human beings are the social beings. We can't live alone. So Robinson Crusoe, he had been alone for many years. That's why he was longing for a company. That means he was longing for a man or woman, any social being, any human being. Okay. One day he discovers a footprint on the sand. He was alone on an island, and one day he discovers a footprint on the sand. Let's find out what he did then. This part of the story, it is adapted from the main story Robinson Crusoe, and it is written by Daniel Defoe. Here it is an adaptation. I mean a small part, an excerpt. Okay. Now page number 49, get ready. One day when I was going towards my boat, I was surprised to see the footprint of a man on the sand. Here, I means Robinson Crusoe. It is like Robinson Crusoe is describing his story to us. One day what happened? One day when he was going towards his boat, he saw some footprints on the sand. And he was surprised because on that island he was the only human being. So he was surprised to see another footprint. That footprint obviously was not his. That's why he was surprised. I stood amazed. I listened. I looked around me. I could neither hear nor see anything. That means, being surprised, he was looking for someone. That means, whose footprint was that? That's why he was looking around here and there, but he could neither hear nor see anything. I went up higher to look down. I went up the shore and down the shore, but it was no good. That means he was looking everywhere. Okay, he went up higher to look down. He went up the shore and down the shore. That means he was trying his best way to find if anyone is there, whose footprint was there. He was trying to find at his best, but he couldn't see anyone. That's why it is written, but it was no good. I could find no other footprint but that one. Only that footprint he found. But he could not find another footprint or any human being. I went to it again, and I went to it again to see if there were any more footprints and to tell if it had been my imagination. He went to the footprint again. He went to see again the footprint. He wanted to be sure. He wanted to be sure whether the footprint was real or was his imagination only. He wanted to be sure. But I was not mistaken, for there was exactly the print of a foot, toes, heel, every part of a foot. I could not imagine how it came there. When he went to the footprint again, he wanted to be sure, and after examining, he was pretty sure that it was a real footprint. And he examined the footprint and it was real. Why? Because he found toes, heel, footprint. In the footprint he found sorry, in the footprint he found toes, heel, every part of a foot. So he was pretty sure that it is real. It was not his imagination. I could not imagine how it came there, but he could not understand how it came there. Next para. I stayed a long time thinking, but became more and more confused. So he was thinking deeply, he was surprised, he was thinking again and again, he was examining the footprint, but he could not get a result. He became more and more confused. Okay, so come to the next page. At last, I returned home very frightened, looking behind me after every 2 or 3 steps. At last, I returned home very frightened, looking behind me after every 2 or 3 steps, mistaking every bush and tree to be a man. So at first he was surprised. Now he is frightened. So he decided to return to his home. Student, it is not a home like us, like our home. He lived there in a cave, and he is describing that cave, that shelter, as his home. At that time, that cave was his only shelter, was like his home. So he decided to return to his home because he was very much frightened. So he was looking behind him after 2 or 3 steps. He was frightened, being frightened. He was expecting if somebody is following him, if somebody is coming to harm him. Okay, mistaking every bush and tree to be a man. It shows us how much he was afraid. When we remain afraid, we find everywhere we find someone. Maybe someone is coming to us, maybe someone is behind me, and maybe someone is coming to me to harm me. When we are afraid, this kind of thoughts always come, isn't it? So as Robinson Crusoe was very much frightened, so he was also looking behind after 2 or 3 steps, and he was mistaking every bush and tree to be a man. When I came to my cave, which I called my castle, as I told you, he came to his cave. It was not his home. He is describing his cave as his home, and which he called his castle. I ran inside it as if I was being chased. It shows us he was too much frightened. That's why he ran inside the cave as if someone was chasing him. I do not remember whether I used the ladder or went in by the hole in the rock. He was so frightened that he could not remember whether he used the ladder or went in by the hole in the rock, which I call the door. Okay, the hole, he calls the hole as door. Okay, I called the door. I ran for cover faster than any animal could run. That time he needed a safe place, and for him the safe place is the cave. That's why he ran inside it and faster than any animal could run. When we are frightened, when we are expecting some danger coming from anywhere, that time we need a safe place. That time we want to protect us, and that time we always run for a safer place, and we try to cover ourselves from any kind of danger, isn't it? So as a human being he did the same thing. So today up to this, okay, you just read again and again the story, and of course learn the spellings of the new words. Clear? We will meet in the next class. Thank you so much.